Okay, buttons and links. This one is going to get quite complex, but the complexity again is only in the foundations of it, and then you are free to create variants that you can use in your project, which has been lacking in a lot of page builders that might lock you into something like a primary or a secondary button, and then link styling is very, very difficult to do. So these. Yeah, let's have a look at this. So first of all, we've got buttons, and obviously buttons should have more limited use in projects than links, as well, especially for web. So in the buttons section, we first set our globals, and this should apply to any buttons really that are within our canvas. And so once we've applied those, there should be the general sort of dimensions and decisions that we have for all of our buttons. So we might have a border style or a certain funky border radius, and you know that you can set that as a default. So you might even have something quite funky with a border radius perhaps to get a weird shape, and you want that to be present on all of your buttons. You can do that. Once you've set your globals, however, we can then create variants, and obviously the normal one is primary and secondary. So we've got a primary and secondary here in this case, and if I click on this, I have a lot of other options. We're immediately given a filled and an alternative, and generally all of this is filled in for you so if I show you this actually, accent. It does what it can to put in place what it thinks you need. But obviously, as you get more complex and different names, you're going to have to add all of this manually. But that's not a problem. You can use the interface to do that quite easily. For every one of them, we have a filled and an alternative, and then we have a range of different options that you can fill out. You may wish to override the global styles in a particular variant, in which case click this drop down and you get a ton more options. There's a lot to do. There's a lot on offer here, and it all jumps into the code as and when you need it. We also have custom CSS, so if there's something that you really need to put into place here, you can do that. It's really, you've got a ton of options there for creating all different variants of buttons. The way that you get that into your project is by class. So you would place button primary or button secondary or button accent into your or button name into your project, and it would pull that through. Let's give you an example of that, which I hope works with no worries. Here we have button. Let's add. Are we in a card? Let's add another button, and click me. I think I need to move the button so that it's visible. Where are we? There we are. And button primary. Okay, let's change that. Let's do button accent. Okay, and obviously that is looking like what we made here. Let's have a look. We've got the override global styles, 1EM and 2EM. Push the file back to Feud. It looked a bit bigger than I remember, but oh, what have I done there? Not the best example. Let's have a look. Button accent. Oh, no, that is correct. Let's change the color to something we haven't had. Ouch. And reload. Okay. Wow. And again, that's the thing with GenCSS, is that we can actually just jump back into the UI. and change things as we need, because there's always a change that's needing to be done. So button variant, we're on accent, aren't we? Let's keep it like that. Let's keep the text to blue, and let's change the radius to something else. Border width 2 pixels, solid. Var radius pill. We are making quite a mess here. And 3. Okay, cool. Push that to the file. Cross fingers and eyes, and there we go. Okay, cool. So that's how you would apply that. Right, back to GenCSS. Let's have a look at links. Links are just the same. Obviously, there's a complexity in links because you might want to set a global that looks very, standard for most link use. But when you do set a variant for a link, you can make it look like a button very easily. So here I have default links set here, and they look quite normal, as they should do. We can override all of that for a link primary, which is this nice looking button here, and obviously that's really, really essential, and something that you don't really get in page builders, and it's not really made in any WordPress CSS frameworks. I've not really seen that. You can apply button primary and things like that to links, but this is targeting a nice link section, and you can create these as you would. I think it helps to keep things very organized. If you look here, the way that we would apply that is link primary, link secondary, and it just keeps that nice naming convention in place. So again, popping to Feud, which is obviously my editor of choice, I'm going to add a link here, and I've actually forgotten what we have. I think we have secondary or primary. Click the link. Secondary. Let's put secondary in there. Link secondary, and that comes through all fine. Did that have a radius? No, it didn't. Okay, cool. Rightio, that's goodio. So rightio and goodio, some new terms for you. So that's the button and link section there. Obviously that is outputting into all of the code. Just don't forget that you can add your own custom code on the variants, which might come in handy for just a few little bits that you're not going to find in the interface, but it's pretty comprehensive. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.